What's good? This Trouble T Roy. Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk back with another one. Just wanted to do a immediate reaction to the Inoue versus Fulton fight, which ended with a Inoue stopping Fulton in the 8th round. The fight, I mean, I can't say it went as I expected because I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't have a horse in the race. I just wanted to see the fight, and I'm glad I got a chance to see it. I got to watch it at work, and that's good because I'm about to end my shift right now. Pretty soon, anyways. I got about an hour left, but yeah, man, great fight, really great fight. Fulton just didn't have no answers for Inoue at all. Inoue established a really nice jab to the head and to the body throughout the whole fight. He kept that jab going, and the jab is what set up the first knockdown. The jab to the body set up that first knockdown, and he came with a overhand right to knock Fulton off balance, and then lunged in with a left. So, I mean, can't complain. It was a great fight. Fulton just didn't have nothing to offer. I mean, Fulton was just kind of, every time Fulton tried to throw something, Inoue was already pretty much a step ahead. Inoue was literally just a step ahead. Damn near every time Fulton tried something, Fulton tried to stay pretty much mid-range to outside, but I mean, Inoue that dude is sharp. His reflexes is crazy. I mean, he's just on a different level. What can you say? He is on a different level. Like, literally every time Fulton tried to do something, Fulton got to a point where early in the fight, Fulton was already at the point where he was just hesitant. He didn't want to throw anything because he knew something was going to come right back at him. He knew Inoue was going to answer with something coming right back at him every time he threw something. So I mean, he got better. Fulton got better around going into the second half of the fight, going after around 5, 6. He started to kind of turn it up a little bit. I think he kind of had the urgency. He was fighting with a little more urgency and coming into the second half of the fight, which he needed to, because he wasn't doing enough in the first half of the fight, which I don't believe he could have done anything. I was almost thinking, like, unfortunately, I didn't want to see Fulton do it, but it was kind of like, you're going to have to probably box Inoue on the inside and just take a chance. But the problem is, we already know Fulton ain't never been the guy known for power, so he was going to get on the inside and do much damage. And the inside is really where Inoue really would have wanted him anyway, so it's almost like it was just no answers for Fulton. Fulton didn't have nothing for Inoue, unfortunately. And I don't take nothing away from Fulton. I just think Inoue is just a different kind of beast. They call him the monster for a reason. And it's not just his power. It's his speed. He has good defense. He has really exceptional defense as well. His pressure when I hated to see Fulton on the ropes and in the corners. That's where every time Fulton was backed into the ropes or had his back to the ropes or he was backed into a corner, I would just start to kind of feel like I would kind of cringe inside, because I'm like, oh no, this is not good. Which made it even crazier that Fulton wasn't on the ropes when he got had that initial attack put on him from Inoue before he got put down. He wasn't even on the ropes. He just got caught after that. He put his hands down trying to guard that jab to the body and left himself open to the top, and that was it. I mean, and I know it was a punch that Inoue had been trying to land for the whole throughout most of the fight. He didn't throw it often, but you can see him trying to set it up throughout the fight. And Fulton, with legs as good as they were, the legs as good as they were, he was able to get out of the way most of the time. But Inoue was smart enough to set him up for it. He set him up real good for it. With that, his jab to the body, he was working all night, and Inoue it wasn't anything complex. Inoue didn't do anything complex. He just stuck to his game. Like I said, the man he's quick. His reflexes is crazy, and his power is just his power is just his power. I mean, I don't take it, like I said, I don't take anything away from Fulton. I think he could bounce back very well. I still think he's probably one of the best in the division. I still have him beating most guys in the division, if you'd ask me. I still think he could still be one of the top guys. It's just this wasn't his night, and Inoue is just different, man. So I'm wondering, I mean, I wonder what's next for Fulton, what he's going to decide to do as far as his future, as far, I mean, obviously he has time to think about everything, but I mean, obviously you don't know, there's no need for a rematch for this one. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, man, really, it's really not much to say about this fight. It was one-sided. I didn't have Fulton winning a round at all, unfortunately. And from the way the fight was going, I didn't see the fight going the distance. I knew after a while, especially when Fulton started to finally really start committing to shots later on, going into the second half, or what was supposed to be the second half of the fight, I kind of seen he was going to really leave himself open. Which is that's just basically what I'm saying. Eventually, he's going to leave himself open one way or another, and Inoue's going to be right there to catch him. Because although Inoue was putting a lot of shots on Fulton, he wasn't landing everything. A lot of the shots were being deflected. A lot of the shots were being blocked. But with the volume of punches that Inoue was throwing and touching him with, it was only really a matter of time before Fulton slipped up. It was just a matter of time. With that kind of pressure, that volume of thrown shots that's touching, touching gloves or whatever, or being deflected, eventually something was going to catch, And hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's really nothing else to say about it. It was just a great fight to watch. It was I give Fulton all the credit in the world for taking that trip all the way out there to Japan, doing something that most of these American boxers won't do, even with the little bit of controversy with the hand wrap around the whole thing, which I thought was all bullshit anyways. I think it's pretty much been proven to have been bullshit, so it was more just controversy and a way to build some drama around the fight, in my opinion. I think that's all it really was, just, and of course a way to, I want to see how many people actually do still talk about the hand wraps and try to act like the hand wraps is the reason that Inoue got that stoppage. I want to see how many people will use that as an excuse, because I'm pretty sure there's still going to be some people saying, well, the hand wrap was illegal. They don't do that here in America and blah, 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 all that bullshit that they're going to say, when it's already pretty much been proven that the hand wrap, there was no issues with the hand wraps. But, yeah, I give Fulton all the credit in the world. And I hope this doesn't discourage others other Americans from going overseas and doing what they need to do for their careers and for their legacies, because you can't sit here and say that Fulton was robbed. You can't use that excuse. You can't say that it went to the scorecards and they robbed him because he was in somebody else's backyard. You can't get robbed when you get stopped. You can't get robbed when you get knocked out. You know? So if you don't, and please don't try to use the hand wrap shit as an excuse to not go overseas. I hope these fighters don't try to use that as an excuse, because you know how American fighters are. They will use excuses, any excuse to not fight, any excuse to make sure a fight doesn't happen. I mean, I'm not talking all American fighters, and I'm not talking all American fans. I'm not saying all American fans support that bullshit, but this has been a thing for years where most American fighters don't want to travel. They feel like most American fighters are afraid to not have the upper hand. They're afraid that they're going to get did wrong, overseas or whatever the case may be. I mean, most Americans don't even like fighting outside their hometown or outside of Vegas, which is a problem in itself right there. So I give props to Fulton. I'll give props to any American who really does go overseas, because we talked about many times, other countrymen are willing to go to other countries for fights. We have people like Usyk. He went and got all his belts in other countries other than his own. You know what I'm saying? So people like that. You had, Clarissa Shields, she just fought Savannah Marshall overseas. It's like, if you believe in yourself, any fighter who believes in himself shouldn't be afraid to go to another country and fight. Fulton believed in himself. He believed in himself. Unfortunately, things didn't work out. I don't take nothing away from him, though. Man is still an excellent fighter to me. I think it just wasn't his night. And Inoue is just on a different level. It happens. It happens to the best. Fulton could bounce back if he really wants to, which I feel like he will. He didn't look like he was mentally hurt at the end of that fight. I feel like, honestly, he might try to do it again. With the kind of heart I feel like he does have. You know what I'm saying? He might say, you know what, I got to make my adjustments and I'll fight you again. I don't think it would be necessary if that's what he wanted. I would say, I don't know if I want to see that again. Because I don't know if I kind of don't want to see the same results. Not saying it would be, but I ain't going to say it won't be. But I don't want to really take a chance to see that again. But, I mean, that's neither here or there. That's what Fulton decides to do with his future. That's on him. But, yeah, man, great fight. Both two great fighters in the same ring. Something we all asked for. And we asked for this right when it was available. And they made it happen. Other than the postpone because of Inoue's injury, they still made the fight happen. Fulton made it. Inoue wanted it. Fulton wanted it. Inoue made sure it happened. Fulton made sure to jump on that plane, or however many planes it took for him to get there. He made sure he did that, and they got in that ring together in Japan, fought, and this is where we at now. This is what boxing is supposed to be. This is the type of boxing that we've been missing for a while. We're getting it this year. We're getting the boxing that we want this year. Whether it's late, whether it's a few robberies here and there, but that's some things that just got to be, hopefully will be fixed throughout, in the future. But, it's been a good year of boxing so far. We still got another fight left in Earl Spence Jr., Earl the Truth Spence Jr., and Terrence Bud Crawford. And me personally, I'm not even going to do a video on that myself. I think people already know who I got winning and how I got him winning, and that's Crawford by stoppage. I say anywhere between the 7th and 9th stoppage. I just think Crawford just has too many tools for Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence hasn't seen anybody like Crawford, and yeah, Crawford's not going to be like Earl's other opponents who just sit in front of him and let Earl punish them. I think it's going to be a whole different fight for Earl. I think he even knows it. So I'm not going to get into details. I talked about it so much over the years. Since it's been announced, I talked about how I felt about the fight on Twitter, like, for the longest. Talk to people in person, all that stuff. So ain't really nothing else to put to that one. I'm just ready for that fight. So yeah, good morning of boxing in America. And we have the rest of the week. We have a few more days until another big fight. And yeah, let's go. I mean, nothing else to say. Trouble T. Roy, don't get hit boxing talk. Feel me? Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good shit. All right, y'all. Peace.